find a comfortable seat for yourself if you're sitting down. Make sure that you're supported. Your eyes can be open or closed, whatever feels most comfortable to you. And just take a minute to tune into your breath. The breath can be first sign of where you're at right now. You might notice the pace of your breath. It's moving slowly or quickly. Just don't get attached to any ideas of how it needs to be. But if it feels good, you can invite a deeper breath. Or in your next exhale, you can make a point to exhale a little bit further than you normally do. That often begins to invite a deeper breath. Now just bringing your attention to the surface on which you're sitting and what that contact feels like. If you're laying down, maybe the contact of your whole body with the surface you're laying upon. And just allow yourself to feel that support. To feel good that you're not floating around in space somewhere, but you're actually supported by this earth and by whatever structure, environment you're in right now. It's allowing you to be safe and to take this time for yourself. And if it feels good, you can take a final stretch, where you might before a nice sleep. And feel free to do that at any point during the meditation. So tonight we're meditating on the Two of Pentacles. So I'm showing here the Two of Pentacles from my soul deck, which is the Victoria Regina Tarot. But feel free to take out the Two of Pentacles from your own deck, because the best thing is for you to develop a relationship with your own cards. And you're welcome to have that out and be looking at that throughout the meditation. And you're welcome to just have your eyes closed and be imagining that card. We're using that image, that energy to support our meditation, to guide our practice tonight. It can be nice even to have the physical object with you. So if you like, you can bring your gaze to the image of the Two of Pentacles, or maybe two of coins in your deck in front of you now, or just bring this image to mind, however you imagine it right now. Just take a moment to notice how this image makes you feel. What arises in you when you look at this? Maybe it feels unbalanced, and maybe it feels playful. What energy do you pick up from the Two of Pentacles? There may be a figure depicted on your card. It could be a human, or an animal or something else. If there is, just notice the posture and the actions of this figure. Notice their gestures. If it feels good to you, or if it's interesting to you, you may want to imitate posture or the gesture that you see depicted in this image. And just notice what that gesture feels like. How does it feel to be this figure, this human or this animal, or even a tree or whatever it is you're looking at that you're imitating? What would it feel to be that? You can even just imagine this. Imagine when you're in that position. Imagine you're that person or animal, this figure. Taking these gestures, what do you feel is going to come next? I'm just going to give you a moment to play with that. This month, we are exploring the twos as the duality of their suits. I've suggested it can be interesting to think of the twos as relating to the Temperance card. That's not a traditional connection, but one that I see in my practice. Because the Temperance card depicts the possibility of what can become of when we have two things. And the twos in the minor arcana generally depict more of a struggle or with a predicament of having two things. Most Two of Pentacles depict a figure who looks like they're juggling. They're trying to manage physically two things. And tonight with the Two of Pentacles, we will be focusing, we're thinking of the Temperance card with the two cups. We're going to be focusing on what we're putting in those cups. We're thinking of one cup for our pleasures and one cup for our responsibilities. How are we balancing these two things? So the first part of this maybe easy or hard, depending on how you relate to your own to-do list. I'd like you to take a moment just to review your day behind you and to review the week that's coming up ahead. Maybe you have a practice of doing this. Maybe you avoid doing this. Maybe you wish you had time to do this. But just take a moment now, we're going somewhere with this, to just bring to mind the things you need to do this coming week. What does the week ahead for you look like? What type of activities do you have planned, or what, maybe there are some things that you don't have planned that you usually do? Notice whether this week ahead is a usual week for you. Would most weeks look just like this one? Or is this a particularly busy week? Or a particularly quiet week? And just begin to make a list in your head of the things that you need to do, just like you're writing them down on a list. What are the things you need to remember to do this week? I'm going to give you a minute to do that. And as you do, just notice how it feels. With any negative feelings coming up, just know we're going to move on to something else in just a moment. So just notice the feelings that come up. So just take a moment to let that go. Give yourself a moment to forget anything you have to do this coming week. Notice if you're able to do that. And how does it feel to do that? How does it feel to be in the midst of your to-do list and then just drop it? Are you able to be in the middle of your to-do list and then just completely drop it from your mind? It's not easy to do. Take this time to explore what might help with that. Does it help to welcome a deep breath? Does it help to let out a sigh? Does it help to stretch your body or to yawn? Does it help to stand up and just shake out all your limbs? You can even try that in your seat. Does it help to place your hands somewhere on your body? Sometimes I feel grounded when I put my hands over my seventh chakra, your third eye, your heart, anywhere that might help you to come home. Bring your hands to your heart and bring your attention to your breathing, to your heartbeat. If you have an animal nearby, you might want to reach out and touch them. Let's take another few moments just exploring whatever helps you release and let go. Things you need to do, but you don't need to do them right now. Part two of this exercise, we're going to imagine the perfect week ahead. I won't give you too much guidance because it's really up to you what your favorite week would look like. So just take a moment to imagine for yourself. What would your week ahead look like if it was packed with all your favorite things to do? All your favorite people. What would an average day look like during a week like this? How busy would this week look like? A week of your favorite things. How spacious would this week feel? Just take the next minute or two to begin to make a to-do list, or rather a want-to-do list for this upcoming week, this make-believe week, filled with your favorite things to do. You may come to the conclusion that you don't want to do all the things. Just begin to make that want-to-do list in your head. Imagining you have all the time and space you need, at least for a week, to make it happen. Don't limit yourself with any real world responsibilities or financial limits, because this is your imagination. And you can make it as fun or relaxing as you'd like. And just take a moment to notice how it felt to make this list. How does it compare to your actual to-do list? Is there anything on it that you might be able to fit on your to-do list, your actual to-do list for the coming week, maybe the week after? Is there something that can be dropped from your actual to-do list in order to make room for it. And when you're ready, you can just let that go. Anything that worked for you earlier, to let your, or if you're enjoying that, just savor these last few moments of our meditation before we begin to transition. Soak in any feelings that have arisen in you. Whether those feelings have brought pleasure or just information that allows you to understand yourself better. And becoming aware of your whole body. Taking a minute to review anything you want to remember, take with you from this meditation into the rest of your day or your week. Imagining yourself moving out in the world with whatever that feeling was, or that knowledge was, or that inspiration, or anything that arose for you that you found useful. Imagining yourself carrying that out into the world. And when you feel like you're ready to make a transition, give yourself as much time as you need to reorient to the outside world. You can begin to deepen your breath. Maybe take a yawn or a stretch. Maybe get a glass of water. Anything that helps you to transition slowly into your regular state of awareness.